McConnellsburg is where I served right after Johnstown. I was going from this busy place to a place like out in the middle of nowhere. It was a really small town. We had a branch building which was right in this strip mall, smallest building I've ever seen. It was just like a storefront. They had this window with entry hall, and then it just went back, and the chapel was in the back of this. They had a little classroom with a kitchen off the side. I remember going out there, and my companion was like, "Oh, you're gonna love these people. They're great." And they're just talking about these different people, and I was like, "Okay, I don't know what I'm getting into." I remember coming from my other area where we were fed like every day, coming to this branch, and they all lived out on the far reaches of our area. I remember one of the things about this specific area is they had main roads that went horizontal to the mountains there, the hills, and there weren't any roads that cut across except for like one. So we had to drive way up to go back on the other side. And I remember one time trying to drive a shorter way using our GPS. It told us to go this one way, and we started on this dirt road, and it just went on and on and on. And finally it came to this river, and we're like, blast it, because it went right through the river, no bridge or anything. And I remember my companion saying, "Hey, let's do it." And I was like, "No, I am not going to be that elder that gets the car stuck in the river." So we turned around and we tried another fork in this road, and again it leads to the river. Same scenario, but this time there was this little bridge off the side, and it was like a footbridge, and my companion's like, "Hey, I need to get a picture on that bridge." I was like, "Okay, I'll just stand on this bank and take your picture." So it was just this beautifully picturesque area. The river was so pretty, and my companion, he goes off in these rose bushes, starts going up on the bridge, and I have the camera right here ready to take these pictures. And he's walking on this wood bridge, and he says, "This is probably the sketchiest thing I've ever done." And then right after that, it was like in slow motion, these boards went flying up, and he fell through the bridge right onto these rose bushes. And I remember standing there for a minute, and I was like, "What on earth?" And then I clicked. I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, are you all right?" And he stood up, and he was all right. But it was just hilarious. So there was that road situation. In the town, it seemed like anyone from McConnellsburg wasn't too open. They didn't really want to mix with people that weren't from there. And so it was really difficult to talk to people because they just weren't really open. But I remember going to the library and getting to know the people there and some of our neighbors, because and they opened up the community to us. We got to work with some of the other churches there and to know people that weren't from there that were open and wanted to talk to us, and that really helped out. And after we found those people that we could actually talk to, it was really good work there. There is an amazing family there that did feed us once a week, and they just put a huge spread out every Saturday, and that was probably some of the best food I ever had on my mission. Even when we got fed once a week, it was really good. I just remember one of the groups that we got to know at the library was very conscious about the environment, and they were talking about this pig farm that was getting put in, and that was a huge deal. And they talked about this lake that had been drained, and that was another big deal. And they took us on a tour one day of the lake, and that was really pretty. Some of the craziest but happy people at the same time were there, and it was really good. There were some farmers there. I remember making hay, as they say it down there, and working with some of the farmers there. But there was also a lot of trailer parks too. And that was it didn't really get ghetto-y there, but it got where it wasn't kept.